Pages of a history book, they can only say so much, so why not let the words of experience teach you something new?
Well, News 10's Rondrell Moore and photojournalist Garrett Brown found that living voice of history right here in the Wabash Valley. They explain who she is and what she possesses could teach the world a great deal.
If you live in Indiana, you've seen a farm. In fact, you may have lived on one. So when we tell you the story of Dorothy Ross's farm, you could probably guess it's nothing new. And you'd be right. In fact, it's already been around for 150 years. You remember Dee Reed, her family, all free men, went on a journey hundreds of years ago from North Carolina and landed, well, here, Lost Creek. Dee told the story well, but there's something about the way Dorothy Ross, her mother, tells it.
They came in a covered wagons, and they were prosperous people, and they wanted things better for themselves.
Did we mention she's 92 years old? And when you step on her property, you get a tremendous sense of what she's talking about. And that's where we see this.
My mother inherited this land.
Her prized possession, farmland, originally 20 acres. It's been in the family for a while.
It's wonderful. And I hope it can stay that way for many years to come. I don't want to sell it.
This is the deed to that property on Lost Creek. Her family bought it from another, get this, 150 years ago. If you need more proof, even the state honors it. But the farm itself is just the beginning of Dorothy's treasure trove of history. Just walk around and you'll be astounded by what she has to share. Pictures. By the way, that's baby Dorothy some 90 years ago. This rare antique piano made in the 1800s.
This is priceless. You see the work here?
Quilt so old, she doesn't even have an exact date. Just that it's
over 100 years old.
And documented records so rare we could hardly believe our eyes. Discharge records from the Civil War.
By reason of service no longer required.
And just check these out.
This is to certify that the burial here of Dixon Stewart.
They're freedom papers, the same used by the Dixon Stewart family, her predecessors, back in 1828 when they traveled from North Carolina all the way to Vigo County. It's a museum of sorts all of her own, but she wants to make sure others will have record, which leads us to the book. It's a homemade archive chronicling everything from her family's lineage in North Carolina to folks today from Lost Creek making a splash.
It's not going to be helpful, we won't learn from it if it all stays in one place. So the importance is to really share it.
And there is plenty to share. For Dorothy, it's what she knows and what she teaches. She just prays the younger generations are willing to learn.
I don't understand some of the people, you know, the way they doing today. But I want them to look to us, see that you can live together in peace and harmony. It can be done.
Words of wisdom spoken with experience. They come from a woman who has endured it all, just like her farm and just like the Lost Creek community she calls home. You could call it a living history right here. In Vigo County with photojournalist Garrett Brown, Rondrell Moore, News 10.
Special thanks go to the Vigo County Historical Society. They provided several pictures for this story.
And we should note, Dorothy celebrates her 93rd birthday later this week. She's a beautiful woman with a great message.